before we begin, just take a moment and talk about our budget process and the steps that we've taken over the last few days. I'm really pleased to see the House and the Senate make some progress on a balanced, no new taxes state budget. We're closely monitoring, working with them on the details as they come together during these final days of the session. Last November, the people of the state of Texas spoke very clearly. Wasn't lost on me what the message was. They wanted to see a more streamlined, more efficient government. And to that end, I suspect that we're going to have a budget that keeps our taxes low and predictable. It provides the essential services that people expect in this state and leaves plenty in the bank to deal with any future economic crisis or natural disaster that may come our way. After we got up this morning and saw what's happened to our neighbors up in Missouri, it's not only we want to keep them in our prayers, but it just a great example of how quickly Mother Nature can strike and do just some amazing damage. Let me kind of dive off into the issue at hand here, and you know, Todd, I don't suppose there's anything that's more important than our private property rights in the state of Texas, and you know, it goes back a ways in our country when you think about it. In the 1774, that first Continental Congress, they gathered up in Philadelphia, and they eventually issued a declaration of colonial rights to then King George III, and among those things that they talked about were the rights of life, liberty, and property. When they got around to writing the Declaration of Independence 2 years later, the word property was replaced with pursuit of happiness. Private ownership of property always has been, and I will suggest always will be, part of the pursuit of happiness, just like it's always been a part of the American and the Texas dream. And that's the reason I made this issue an emergency item on the legislative call for the session. Today, that dream is more secure than it's ever been in the state of Texas. It's my privilege to sign Senate Bill 18. It further strengthens our eminent domain laws. It protects Texas home, business, and property owners from abuse at the hands of those looking to game the system. This continues a steady and a vital effort dating back this almost the entire last decade. We've been working on this issue, during which we barred the practice of using eminent domain to seize property, to give to other private interests, even for economic development. We banned that. We required a 2/3 vote for the legislature to grant any further eminent domain authority. Made it more difficult to seize well-tended parcels of property just because they happen to be in a blighted area of a town. We've come a long way, I guess is the short answer, and I want to say thanks to these members of the legislature who are here. Senator Estes, thank you for your work, and Senator Duncan. Bob Duncan has been a really good and as we were talking about, a heck of a negotiator, for one thing. Charlie Geren, Chairman Oliveira, Senator Geren, or I should say, excuse me, Charlie, I moved you up there.
I'm pretty happy where I am.
Yes, sir, I know you are. Senator Hagar, thank you for all of the work that you all have collectively done. And I want to say thanks to the governor's staff for the work that you all have done. And I know that Michael, you and Jeff, and the work that you've done. So with Senate Bill 18, any government entity seeking to buy someone's property is now required to make a legitimate, bona fide offer and work with the landowners to negotiate a fair price with their property before eminent domain proceedings can begin. There's not going to be any more of this lowballing, giving these landowners some ridiculous offer and then threatening them with the eminent domain laws. That's over. Under this bill, if your land is taken, but it's never used, you have the right to buy it back for the price that you were originally paid for it, not some higher price that's appreciated over time. That increase in value rightfully belongs to the landowner, and this bill sees that the landowners get it. SB 18 also increases accountability and transparency throughout the process, making sure government officials are on the record in their condemnation votes, and that landowners are presented with any and all of the appraisals that are used in the process. I want to commend everyone again in the House and the Senate, and just this whole lineup of people right here. I thank you all for being here. These private landowners, they're business owners, they're agricultural interests in this group that are standing up here. So on behalf of all Texans everywhere, I'd like to say thank you for all of you for standing up for private property rights in this state. And with that, I would like to introduce the first of many who had a hand in making this become a reality today, and that's our Agriculture Commissioner of the Lone Star State, Todd Staples.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate that very much. Governor Perry, I certainly want to thank you for your leadership and that work of your staff, not for just during the session, but for leading up to the session, the work that was done. Senator Estes and Senator Duncan, Senator Hager, Representative Geren, and Representative Oliveira, so many leaders in the legislature, along with our leading land steward organizations, can celebrate today with the passage and signing of Senate Bill 18, because this is meaningful eminent domain reform that sends the message loudly and clearly: you don't mess with Texas and you don't mess with Texans' land. What we celebrate is really the heritage of this great state. And by passing this legislation, putting it in statute, following up on the constitutional amendment in '09, it says that we understand that the rights of property owners really reflects the cornerstone of our economy. And it recognizes that people move to Texas to own a piece of the American dream. It wouldn't have happened without these leaders that are here today. It wouldn't have happened without these leading land steward organizations that said we want this to be a priority, and that along with millions of Texans. So today is a day to celebrate and a day to preserve and protect the heritage of our great state. Representative Schwartner, good to see you. Thank you, Governor.
Todd, thank you very much. Now I'd like to bring up one of the bill's authors, and that's, of course, Senator Craig Estes. Senator.
Thank you, Governor. Well, sometimes good legislation takes a while. We've been working on this for years. I want to thank Senator Kyle Janik for plowing some of the ground, and I don't know whether he's here or not, but did a wonderful job. And when he retired from the Senate, I thought I'd like to have him pass me that baton. And we worked it for 2 more sessions, and we got a good bill. And I think today is a happy and proud day for Texas property owners. And I do want to thank my colleagues, Senator Duncan and Senator Hager, for all they did in the legal expertise. This is a very complicated, and this bill has a lot of moving parts, but their legal expertise was invaluable. And then also to thank Chairman Geren and Chairman Oliveira for their job in shepherding this through the House. So we've got a good piece of legislation here, and we're going to look forward to seeing the governor put his brand on it. And thank you all very much for being here today.
And Craig, thank you. And now his counterpart over on the House side and the bill sponsor in the House, Representative Charlie Geren. Yes, sir.
Senate Bill 18 is so important to the state of Texas and to the property owners, but also it's been a pleasure not only to work with the land steward groups, but with the industry to make this not only a bill that's good for landowners, but that's something that the industry and the cities can live with. The governor's staff has been remarkable, Senator Estes' staff, and Chairman Oliveira. I can't say enough about how you help get this, help us with this bill and to get it through the House. And it's just, as Senator Estes, I just really look forward to seeing the governor touch pen to paper. Thank y'all very much.
Gentlemen, if y'all will gather around, we will get this signed.
Thank you, sir.
Well done. Proud of you. Charlie? Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.